Okay.
Journey to the New World. In 1620, a group of English people wanted to worship God freely, so they decided to flee to America. These people, who were godly pillars of America's society, are now known as pilgrims. With faith in God, they sailed on a boat called the Mayflower. During the trip, there was a roaring, perilous storm that would not subside. So the pilgrims hurried down to the gun deck to be secluded from the outside. Unfortunately, it was crowded there, and the salty seawater rushed through the rough. The salty seawater rushed through the cracks in the boat. They were miserable, wet, and bitterly cold. They were frightened. One day, frivolous John Howland, who didn't think stuff through, was tired of being cooped up in the foul-smelling gun deck. Against the sailor's warning, he resolved to climb the upper deck. Suddenly, without warning, the boat rolled over and he plummeted into the ocean. While he was falling, he persevered frantically to grab a rough rope that was hanging nearby. He was terrified. Luckily, the sailors, who were appalled at John Howland's disobedience, witnessed the gravity of the situation and endeavored to rescue him with a boat hook. With a humble heart, he was gratefully relieved to be back on the boat. Thanking the trustworthy sailors reverently for saving his life, which he loved. He returned to the cramped up gun deck. Everyone rejoiced. However, they all contemplated that the journey to the New World would be long and difficult. And I have a picture.
Nice. All the people that are crammed up down there beneath the storm coming with the waves.
Oh, the waves are
incredible.
Wow, those are high waves. That wave's bigger than your thumb, Mrs. Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job.
Josie Theodore?
Gianna, you want to go ahead and go on up and
Yes.
yeah. Oh, that's right. You need to see it too. Is that okay, Theodore?
Theodore.
I have.
Go ahead.
Well, do you want, or Gianna can go next, and he can put his tickets away.
A Perilous Journey versus the Pilgrims. In 1620, English families sailed to America to worship God freely. These people are now known as pilgrims. Gladly, they lived on a ship named the Mayflower. During this trip, there was a threatening storm. The pilgrims stayed in the gun deck. It was secure, crowded, and smelly seawater snuck through small cracks. They were wet and cold. They were also scared. The men prayed with their families, and the women sung hymns to their families. And the children clung to their parents. John Howland was a boy on the ship. John Howland, who was a boy on the ship, was bored and disliked being cooped up. Slyly, he decided to climb to the upper deck. But the ship rolled rapidly, and he fell into the roaring, foul, treacherous, roaring, hostile waves. Providentially, he clung to a hanging rope. He was very scared. Above the thrashing ocean, sailors saw what happened. They persevered and retrieved him with a boat hook. John Howland was indeed relieved to finally be back on the boat. He was alive. Gratefully, he thanked the sailors for saving his life and went straight to the gun deck. The pilgrims, who were glad that he was safe, acknowledged that the trip to the New World would be a long and perilous one.
Yellow pilgrims. Yeah.
Jaundice. Excretory system's not working well.
Okay, Theodore.
Very nice.
Oh, sorry, Blake, I took your chair. Or actually, no, it's okay, I'll get it right here. Uh-huh.
You see the title?
Yes.
Okay.
The Mayflower Journey. In 1620, English people sailed to the New World to worship God in America. They are now known as the Pilgrims. They journeyed on a boat called the Mayflower. During the trip, there was a harsh storm. To stay out of strong winds, the Pilgrims kept themselves secluded below the gun deck. It was crowded and the sea water seeped through the cracks of the ship. They could hear banging on the side of the ship. All of them were soaking wet and freezing cold. The children were utterly restless, and their mothers were helping them to calm down. Goodman John Howland was tired of being cooped up below the stinking deck. He decided to climb to the upper deck. Without warning, the ship rolled out of control, and he fell overboard into a perilous situation. Fortunately, as he was falling, he grabbed a hanging rope and endeavored to get back on the boat. He screamed with all his might and cried for help. Luckily, the sailors discovered what had happened and bravely rescued him with a boat hook. Goodman John Howland thanked the gallant sailors, and he felt terrific to be back on deck. The Pilgrims cheered that he was now safe. Goodman John Howland knew that the journey to the New World would be long and difficult.